Real Enigmas and Theories is back again with another live stream. Yes. How's everybody doing out there? How's everybody doing out there? Is the sound good? Can you guys hear me out there? What's going on? Is the sound good? Everybody that's here that's supposed to be here is here. And we rocking. Can y'all hear me out there? Let me know if you can hear me. What's going on? I see it's 17 people in here. What's going on? Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, well. Okay. Nice. Hit that like button on your way in, families. Let's get this thing rocking. Let's get this thing rolling. You know what I'm saying? Glad you can hear me. All right. Let me see what's going on in this chat real quick. Who's been here? Who's here? Oh, wow. We got Christine Jellybean was here early. She said, I'm so glad that you're covering this show. Yes, we're here for The Last of Us, and we'll talk about whatever we want to talk about. Like, if we want to talk about a little Severance, we can do so. As a matter of fact, when talking about these shows, when talking about any of these shows, and you're also talking about symbolism, you must speak on how the symbolism is connected. So we'll be, inadvertently talking about other shows anyway. So we're going to talk about all kinds of shit. Like, that's what we do, right? We got Harry Heavens in the building. What's going on, Harry? Good to see you. Debbie, Yebby, Bo, Bebby, Banana, Fana, Fo, Febby, to the Fee, Five, Momebby is in the building. What's going on, Debbie? Yes, we have Enola in the building. How you doing? Yes, I'm excited as well. I'm actually excited. I love season 1. There's a lot of controversy around this show, with plot choices, casting choices, its relation to the video game. There's a lot, I'm here to see this show, guys. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. I won't make a lot of video game references this season at all, because I feel like the show is its own thing. You know what I mean? So there's that. There we have it there. Jen, the teacher, is in the building. What's going on, Jen? How you doing? Good to see you here. We have David in the building. Good evening, David. Good evening. We have the Chocolate Thunder. Hey. Good to see you here. We have Bill Stars in the building. What's good, Starsy or Staries? I don't know how to say it. No. Oh, that's Ebony. My fault. Ebony, what's going on? Oh, wow. I'm. You said Bill and Frank were so sweet. Okay, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's a good episode. A lot of people say that's their favorite episode. My favorite episode was the episode with the bloater coming out of the ground with Henry and Sam. That whole episode had so much to it. Now, don't get me wrong. Bill went about this thing like how I would go about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I saw so much of myself in Bill. You know what I mean? By the way, he was all about the food, the clothing, and the shelter. And most of all, he was about the means of protecting those things. Because what's food, clothing, and shelter if you don't have the means to protect it, right? So I really saw myself there within that part of the character for sure. And I love that whole, the prepper scene. I mean, it makes sense. One thing that I definitely like about the show or about that particular episode is that in television shows, most of the time, preppers are made to look real tinfoily and crazy and stuff like that. However, in this situation, like, you totally see how being like that could pay off in a situation like what we have in The Last of Us. So I liked how they shed a positive light on prepping and getting ready, which I think all of us should always be doing. I don't know if you guys know about canning and, just learning basic survival techniques, like how to purify water, how to set up traps, how to set up a perimeter, just, also basic mechanics. You know what I mean? Because if you have to change a car battery and do these things, I think that people should be prepared for that. So that part of the episode for me was like the best thing. I love that they showed that. I love that they showed a prepper, and how he also put himself in a position to literally become, you know, leader of that domain or city or whatever that he had fortified, and also put himself in a position to be able to trade with people. So I loved it. I loved it for that, for sure. Like I said, my favorite episode was Sam and Henry. You know what I mean? Where they found there was so much to that episode, you know. The part where they found that underground school where people have been trying to survive there with children and raising children down there. It reminded me of Bill and Frank's compound. It reminded me heavily of Bill and Frank's compound, and how they had created something where they were still trying to survive. You know what I mean? Instead of just giving way into the pressures of the world collapsing in, they fought back. You know what I'm saying? That's such a beautiful thing to see, you know, because I mean, just me personally, if you guys are new here, welcome everybody. But if you guys know me, then you know, like, get ready. That's all I'm saying. Get ready. But It's K is in the building. What's good with you? Shantae is in the building. What's good with you? My brother Percy Garcia is in the building with us. Let's get it. What's up, my peoples? What's up, Real Enigmas and Theories? What's up, brother? Man, it's good to see you up in here. I know you watching The Last of Us. You know what I'm saying? Star Child says, I'm watching season 1 right now, episode 1. Woo, you way behind. All you need to do is watch my video and you will be caught up. Watch the video. I might even put it on here to have it playing in the background while we're talking, just so that y'all can have something to visualize and view. You know what I'm saying? Let me set up real quick. Let me pause the video, start the video at the beginning there. Now let's go ahead and share it to the fam. Let's go ahead and present that. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, we'll make this bigger and we'll share that video. No sound. It's just going. Just something to look at while we talk. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got Katie in the building. Woohoo! Can't wait to watch tonight. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch tonight. I don't know if anybody is rocking with us in the Discord. The Discord link is definitely in the description of all of my videos. You can find it even in the description of this video. You can go ahead and become a part of the Discord. We might do a watch party tonight. Who knows? You know, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it for sure. We got Ghost MKC in the building. What's going on, family? I am going to open up the panel, so I want to hear what some of you guys got to say. We got a brand new show we're covering. We got brand new live streams that we're going to be cooking up. So we need to see what is going on and what's on everybody's minds. You know what I mean? We got Grouch in the building. I literally just signed up for HBO to watch this second season. We'll cancel again when it's done. Yes, well played, my friend Grouch. Well played. We got my brother Golden Child in the building. Peace, tribe. Indeed, tribe. Yes, indeed. Ebony's still here with us. Who else? We got the wonderful, beautiful Vic in the building. What up? Yes. Who else we got in here? We got Suzanne is here. CT Cook. Video game shows have been killing it lately. Yes, indeed, they have. We got the wonderful, beautiful mod in the building, Mickey B. It's so good to see you, fam. Yes, indeed, we got the beautiful No Context. We got so many beautiful people that rock with us. Yo, Food Pyramid said, I'm still stuck in severance mode, but still had to drop a like for my man, Real. Yo, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. I'm still stuck in severance mode as well. Like, I had a family emergency last night. We did have a wellness session planned for yesterday, 24 hours ago. But I had a family emergency that I had to attend to, and I had to postpone it. But sometime this week, Miscellaneous Gab and I will be going live on her channel, and we'll be catching up with that live stream. We will be doing a members only for the Lexington Letters. And if you watch The Last of Us, right? If you watch The Last of Us and you're here tuning into the live streams and you also watch Severance, we'll be tying in all of that symbolism and how that symbolism actually shows up across the board in Hollywood. So that's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm stuck there too. Yeah, I'm stuck there too. You know what I mean? All these different platforms. Terrible I'm not signing up and can't do too much cash. These companies want too many platforms. What happened to old-fashioned television, free television? No doubt, that's real. You know, the thing about it though is back in the day, and I was just having this conversation with somebody, you know, back in the day, well, I sound old as hell. Back in my day, like back in the day, most of the shows, everybody knew every show. Like everybody, you might not have watched the show, but you knew of that show. And you knew of that show because there were only about 20 television shows out back then. You know what I'm saying? There were only about 20 TV shows. You might not have watched the show, but like, for instance, like when everybody came to school on Monday, they talked about what they watched on Full House, you know, what happened on Full House on Friday night. You know what I'm saying? You had what? Full House. You had just the shows that you knew. And there weren't a lot of TV shows. Now, there are literally thousands of television shows. And so you can walk up to somebody and be like, yo, have you ever seen the show Severance? And they'll be like, hell no, I haven't even heard of that. However, it's the #1 watch show on Apple TV. And it's still people that haven't seen it. It's just because there's so much content out there in this time and in this day and time. You know what I'm saying? So things have to change for real. Real is the reason I binged the season 1 in the first place. Yo, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad that I can actually spread some awareness. You know what I'm saying? Like, get people into it. If you know me and you're here with us and you rock with us, if you know me, your experience with watching my channel is going to be vastly different from what you're watching with this show. I'm going to be pointing out symbolism. There's so much that I can point out. Like, I don't even think I made everything clear enough in my latest video. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm going to do, what's going on? A-Lord Corey is in the building. You know what I mean? What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the chat early. You know what I'm saying? So, open up the panel early. And this is what we'll do since it's the first show. Since the show starts in about an hour, you know what I'm saying? I like to let you guys go so you can get your snacks and stuff early and all of that. But I'm going to open up the panel right now. So here's the link. If you want to go ahead and join, you can come up here and we can talk about this show. You know, I would love to talk about some of the esoteric nuances. I would love to get some people up here that watched my video and may have a couple of questions about, you know, what some of the things that I talked about in my video. I do want to show you guys something. Like, for instance, okay, so let's just take the show from Common Side Effects and The Last of Us. All of these shows have been bringing up mushrooms real heavy. Do you remember Miss Lou making mushroom tea? She disclosed on a live stream that the tea was made from mushrooms. But it wasn't just that. You had Randall was in the woods looking for chaga. You know what I'm saying? He had Debbie Ebby Bo Bebby. You know about that chaga, homemade frozen peach fruit yogurts. Now, oh man, that shit sound good, man. That's what I'm talking about. I need some of that right now. But you know, you had the mushroom talk with the chaga in From. Now we also have the mushrooms in the cordyceps. The cordyceps are mushrooms, right? And you also have that show Common Side Effects talked about the mushrooms. I want to point out that in The Last of Us, they also talk about pancakes. The egg symbolism is there. I remember seeing one of the trailers has an egg timer in it. I believe we will see that egg timer in this first episode. They talked about pancakes as well on The Last of Us. That's the reason why they didn't get the cordyceps, because Sarah could not find the pancake mix in the morning. And so her and her dad sat there and had eggs for breakfast because they weren't able to get she couldn't find the pancake mix, right? So also you had pancakes and from, you know what I'm saying? Then you also had waffles and Severance. And so these things, there's no doubt in my mind that the hidden hand of Hollywood is sprinkling little bits of this symbolism in every show and telling them to put these things in the show. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yo. Yes. Shout out to Miss Real for bringing the tea. Literally. Yes, I'm waiting on my tea. My tea is on its way. Yes, indeed. You know, I'm so used to the tea. Sometimes I forget to announce when it comes. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I heard there is mushroom coffee you can get. Yes, indeed. Okay. Me and my old roomie used to grow them. Oh, shit. Shh, you better be quiet. Debbie said, oh, my God, no, I hate mushrooms. Gross, gross, gross. Worst food on the planet. Well, you won't be getting any cordyceps. That's a good thing, though. You know what I'm saying? Yo, hey, Lord Corey, remembering the joint burnt my lip. Yo, there's a clip in the Discord of them Big Heck put up with me burning my lip on the on the tea. This shit was funny as hell. Yes, Eggo waffles and Stranger Things. Groucho Grouch. That's what I'm talking about. Put these connections together. Okay, so the bread represents the Eucharist, which is the blood of Christ or the body of Christ, right? That represents the Eucharist, and it's an unholy Eucharist, right? We see that in Severance. We see that in we also see it in The Last of Us. You know what I'm saying? If you ate some pancakes that morning, you probably ended up getting the cordyceps, which is a terrible way to go, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Dominic says, I love you. We love you too. I love you too. I'm not afraid of using the word love. You know what I'm saying? The word love is a beautiful thing. You know, I'm definitely not afraid of using that word. I find the word quite welcoming. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I mean it. You know what I mean? So that's what that is. Nah, with the wine, mushrooms, I don't know about the psilocybin effect, but Italian food be fire. Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Susan said, I love waffles, American waffles at the Waffle House. Boy, do I miss those from America for sure. Where are you at, Susan? So you're not in America. You're not here. And excited to watch your covers. I absolutely love the Severance covers. Thank you very much, Remy. You know what I'm saying? I'm so excited to carry this show. Like, I'm definitely going to be checking this out. The Mycelium Network is a beautiful thing, people. Yes, indeed. Let me see if I can add this video that I whipped up. Okay, and I want to show you guys something and show you that the symbolism is definitely deliberate. There's a part on common side effects. Okay, good. It's uploading, guys. I'm going to be able to show you this video here. It's a part on common side effects in the intro sequence, where the intro sequence pretty much does the same thing that the intro sequence in The Last of Us does, where it shows the mycelium network actually spreading out across the landscape of the United States. And then it kind of moves down through Florida, right? So let me show you guys this. You won't be able to hear me talking, but I'm going to play it a couple of times so that we can be abreast. So if you see there, you can see the mycelium network moving Oh, you can see the mycelium network moving through America right there. And then you see both of these are the intro sequences from uh The Last of Us and Common Side Effects. If you're not watching Common Side Effects and you haven't seen Common Side Effects, I implore you to go check that out. Um that is one of the best. It's made from the dudes that made King of the Hill. I believe I don't know if it was Mike Judge, and I don't know. But yeah, it's a fire show. It's an animated series. It's really really good. You know what I'm saying? I believe it's on I caught it on Hulu. I got it on Hulu. I don't know if I had to purchase HBO Max. It might be on HBO. As a matter of fact, it is. It's on HBO, and so is The Last of Us. But we'll look at this again. Check this out. How you see these similarities in the show, and all of the symbolism is stretching across multiple different TV shows. I'm going to tell you some symbolism that I've seen in every single show that I've watched since 2020 is the Wizard of Oz symbolism. It is very strong. So let's check this out again. Sometimes I'm like, what are they trying to tell us with this stuff? And so that's what we will be talking about throughout this season and other seasons as well. Yes, when I play that little video clip, you won't be able to hear me because I actually embedded that into my StreamYard. So when we play these videos that are embedded into the StreamYard, it cuts the sound off. I'm going to play it one more time so we can observe. To me, that was eerily similar. You know what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that a connection? Like, oh yeah, I definitely had several Super Mario jokes that I was gonna put into the video, but I didn't. I just put one in there. The Last of Us is definitely, yeah, the Petri dish for sure. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah. Chocolate Thunder. Yeah, you can't hear me, but yeah, you got me now. Yes. So, what is this symbolism and why does it continuously show up in all of the television shows? And what are they actually trying to tell us about real world events? Um, I'm I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I've been saying this since season 3 of From, that something with the money system was going to happen. You can go back to my live streams, and I said that, and I said this due to the fact that they continuously look right there. There's Sam and Henry. You got Sam and Henry in Kansas City are an actual Wizard of Oz reference. Okay. Um, we might watch I'm gonna start a common side effects page in the Discord. If you look up a little bit, Mickey B had posted the link. I don't know if she could post it again for us, but join the Discord if you're not already joined in the Discord. We have watch parties in there. Sometimes I might just pop up in one of the voice chats and I'll be in there cooking up, might be working on a video, making a beat, just talking about a show, whatever. And I'll announce it to everybody in there when I drop in. But you guys can definitely go in there and talk amongst yourselves. Like, we have some really good Discord going on, Discord conversations going on. We have Yellow Jackets in there, From, Severance. We have The Handmaid's Tale. We have several shows actually. The Handmaid's Tale is back in full effect as well. I'm not gonna cover The Handmaid's Tale, but I definitely have a spot on it for the Discord so that we can talk about it. And if any of you are familiar with my style of symbolism noticing, if that's a thing, noticing the symbolism, please feel free to put that symbolism about the Handmaid's Tale in the chat so we can discuss it and we can walk through it. I think that I've made the very clear point that the symbolism does show across all television shows within Hollywood. I think I've done a good job at proving that and showing that. So now we can get to the nitty gritty of things and figure out why. What are they actually trying to tell us? And as I was saying, last year through many of my live streams, I talked about how the symbolism that they've been showing us is giving us a message about the money system, the world money system, the world economic system. And now we see those things are actually changing as I predicted. We see the current United States president enacting the tariffs and things of that nature. And there is an actual economic war front going on as we speak. And this will change the landscape of many things. So you can chalk that up. I made that prediction last year. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, Trump was already talking about tariffs and stuff like that to his base. You know what I'm saying? And I, saw that as well. But one thing that I noticed that there were a lot of Trump and Kamala references in shows that had been filmed. We're talking like 2022. And there were a lot of Trump Kamala references it's almost as if somebody knew that they were going to be going up against each other, which couldn't be possible, right? Because she went up against him like 100 days before the election. So how did they know? And how were these signs and symbols inside of these television shows to give us that notion, right? I pointed out many things about the assassination attempt that was taken out on him and the references to 47, the show, the speeches that he was making. You had Boyd doing a speech that was pretty much just like Trump's speech. And it's like, how does a character like this speak in the same way that a presidential candidate speaks before he speaks it? Like, how did Boyd know those things? How did they know to put that in the script, right? So, this is what we're going to be uncovering. We're going to be talking about a lot of things that would be labeled conspiracy theories, which I loathe that terminology. I can't stand that terminology. I think it's a gaslighting terminology to pretty much ostracize people that ask questions. You know what I'm saying? I like to ask questions. And especially if there's a lot of coincidences around the questionable things that we see. Okay, so you over there in Australia. We have an election in Australia. We have an election here in Australia, a couple of weeks. Wow. Can't wait to see the back of our current premier. Oh, indeed. We should always be asking questions. Indeed, Chocolate Thunder. This is what I'm talking about. Real man is a Christopher Nolan type on the YouTubes. Yo, I think that we need to ask questions, especially when we see a lot of similarities of symbolism that actually connect to our real world events. Like, for instance, in the Lexington letters, there was a truck that blew up in front of a hotel. Boom. The Lexington letters came out like what? 2022, 23, something like that. 2023, 2022, somewhere around there. 2023. There was a truck blew up in front of a hotel. And then in our real world, right after the election, there was a truck that blew up in front of a hotel. Like, trucks don't blow up in front of hotels every day, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's a strange thing to kind of like have a prediction. Some people attribute this to life imitating art. And, I think art at some point, at some level of hierarchy, actually predicts or plans life. I know it's a strange theory and it's a strange way to look at things, but they're definitely trying to show us what we're moving into. You see what I'm saying? You have the characters, Tabitha and Jim. Their name is Tabitha and Jim Matthew from, and they had a son named Thomas. The person that took out the assassination attempt on Trump's name was Thomas Matthew. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute. What are we serious here? And then all the notions to 47. And, Boyd makes that speech. There was an assassination attempt on Boyd as well when Reggie hit him with the shotgun. So I think that these things definitely are casting some sort of spells. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. What Debbie Bo Bebby say? She said March 2025, they released the Lexington letters. No, the Lexington letters have been out for years, Debbie. Oh, she said 2022. Sorry, spell check changed it. Yes, okay, there we go. Yeah, they came out years ago, 2022, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait to watch Dark Mirror this season. Yes, Dark Mirror has definitely been talking about what are these connections called? People are calling these connections meta connections. You know what I'm saying? Very meta in actually world influenced connections. I think that it means something. I'm going to put that link back down there. I want somebody to come up here and rap with me. Don't be scared. I know I'm up here talking that shit right now, but you can come on up here and build if you want. If anybody wants to come up here and build with me, we can do so. We only have a few short minutes left of this live. I'm not going to go live for a long time on this one. I want to give you guys time to get ready to watch the show. It comes on at 8:55. One thing that I find, what was the Slovarg or something like that where Milchick sent Miss Wong? Check this out. That's an actual scene in the new Superman movie coming up. So it's like, damn, why was that place brought up? Here's a funny thing. Since we're talking about release times of the shows, Spalvard, Solvarb. Yeah, I have a problem saying that word. But yeah, so that is an actual set in the new Superman movie as well. Now, here's the thing that I thought was strange. Severance was supposed to release every Friday, but we noticed that it would come on every Thursday night at 9:00. The funny thing about it is Spalvarg, it's Friday there at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where they keep the International Seed Vault. Ooh, that's crazy. So that's a connection right there. Because we're talking about spores and mushrooms and stuff. We had mushrooms and from, right? Miss Lou was making the mushroom tea. We had Randall looking for mushrooms, the chaga mushroom. Taryn called me today. We had a good talk. We're planning our trip to Newfoundland, and we were talking. He had something about the chaga mushroom. He had a connection about the chaga mushroom. I'm not going to share it here because we might talk about it. We might go live and talk about it. Get up here and talk about this kind of stuff. Every nation donates seeds, non-GMO. And so here's the thing, right? I remember when my grandmother used to keep her own seed bank. You know what I'm saying? We should be keeping our own seed banks. HBO is now on episode 8. You must be talking about common side effects. You know what I'm saying? Hope we can binge. Well, yeah, you can binge the first season. The first season is already done. So you can go binge Last of Us first season now. But if you binging it, you too late. We coming on tonight. It's here tonight. So you might as well just go ahead and watch it on into the next. You might as well start now and watch it on into the next day and catch up. I personally don't recommend binge watching anything. I think you should take your time with it and digest. A lot of people like the binge watching model that they've created, and that's cool. binge watching I think binge watching changes the way your mind works, because when you're binge watching, you're getting this instant gratification over and over again, right? And I believe that we start to expect those things in our real life, like this instant payoff. We got a cliffhanger, boom, I can just hit play next and watch the next episode, and there we are. You know, I don't recommend that, but sometimes it happens. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But my thing is this, like, watching these shows, you should definitely be aware of the signs and the symbols and the symbolism that they're throwing out there. You know what I mean? And The Last of Us has, every single show has, I don't care if it's a romantic comedy, it's going to have these uh different symbolism notes in it. And it always has intrigued me since I was very young, since I was, I mean, when I was watching Aladdin, when I was watching things like Gargoyles, even before that, even Star Wars, um, even, a big symbolism show was Star Trek: The Next Generation. I used to watch that with my pops when I was real little, when it first came out in the 80s. That show right there had a lot of symbolism, and every single episode, my dad used to point that stuff out to me as well. You know, you have the different types of skulls that they were talking about. I believe there's about 36 different types of human being skulls in the world, that anthropologists have discovered. I believe that's the number. It could be more actually by now, but I think that that's what they were pointing out in things like Star Wars. They were pointing out the different the federations. They were talking about the different countries and how they deal with each other. I totally believe that. When you see these shows, like, everything that we have today in our technology was in television shows. I mean, damn near everything from the Jetsons is here. We got FaceTime. I know y'all remember when Mr. Spacely used to FaceTime George Jepson and get his ass up in the morning from work. You know what I'm saying? Like, he used to just FaceTime him. And, we do have flying cars, not on the market. We got cars driving themselves. A lot of our technology and the way that our world is today comes from the so-called science fiction of yesterday. And so we see a lot of the symbolism that points out to real world events. And I just think that there's a correlation between that. I think, yes, the different phenotypes, Ty Briggs, that's the word I was looking for. They were pointing out the different phenotypes. You know what I'm saying? And the casting of the show itself was very phenotypical. It was very diverse. You know what I'm saying? They would, pull from all different types of bloodlines, which was a real dope thing. And you also have to think about what the word casting means. Like, you're talking about casting a spell. You know what I mean? When you put the show out there, you're broadcasting. You see what I'm saying? You're channeling, right? Channeling is another magic word. You know what I mean? What is it? What isn't abracadabra supposed to be a magic word, right? There's a TV format called Abra back in the day. So there, then you have aberration, right? You have all of these different things that are actually connected to the so-called alchemical world. And we see this in television. They show us this over and over again. Y'all, let me find out y'all scared. Let me find out I got 60-something people in here and y'all scared to come up here and rap with the brother Real Enigmas in Theory. I don't know what's going on with that. Here go the link right here. I'm going to put the link in there one more time. If y'all don't come up off of that, if y'all don't come up after that, then y'all scary. Come on, don't be scary, y'all. And I know some of you out there have always been wanting to come up here. I was just about to say it. Mickey B, I know she's a little shy, but she be cooking. You know what I'm saying? My sister said, she told me straight up, she said, look, I might not be able to come up with a theory, but I can add on to a theory. Now, you get my brain moving, and I'm definitely adding on to some theories and shit. You know what I mean? I, for real, don't think that I'll have a whole lot of theories, so to speak, for The Last of Us. You know what I'm saying? However, you know, I do think, I don't know. I think that they're going to go along with the video game. And if they do go along with the video game, I don't know. A lot of people are definitely going to be mad. You know what I mean? Because they were mad about what happened in the video game. You know, you take a character, and I'm not going to spoil it. You take a character like Joel and you see how what amounts to his situation, but you see him being a like total badass throughout the whole season. And, you know, just the way the outcome was, it's very shocking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to spoil it, but if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? What did Ty Briggs say? Ty Briggs said, Enigma, remember the Tom Cruise Minority Report? Oh, yeah, that was a wonderful movie. They even made a TV show out of that was laced with hella symbolism that actually came to fruition. All that technology from that movie we have now, even an algorithm pre-crime agency. Yes, I have seen that. I have seen that. They're actually using that in some countries. I believe in China, they are using some sort of pre-crime thing. You know what I mean? They're also in Canada trying to start really pressing hard with like speech laws and things like that, things that you've said in the past, and they use that to judge things that you might say in the future. And these things are coming with like hefty fines, like $20,000 fines, and you know, some of them come with life in jail. Like, yeah, things are really changing, and television has definitely been trying to show us that and tell us that. You know what I mean? I don't think that, oh, hold on. Susan said, yeah, I don't, like I was saying, I don't think that these things are arbitrary. I think that these things are being done purposely, and I think that there is a hidden hand. We live in a world that most of the wealth, 99% of the wealth, is controlled by 1% of the population. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen by haphazard. You dig? Like, that's a plan, that's a design, right? And so that's the world that we actually live in. And I believe that there is a hidden hand in Hollywood. I'm going to tell you something, guys, right? I think that, okay, so I've applied to get the screeners for multiple television shows, and they have like pretty much not been responding to me at all. Like, now, I've only gotten the screeners for one show the whole time that I've done YouTube, and that was that show called Earth Abides. And it was before I started really digging into the hidden hand stuff, but they let me get the screeners for that. And then they removed my email from the account like they removed my account so that like it was telling me that I had to register. And then when I registered, it told me that I don't have anything, that they don't have no screeners for me. Now, there's been several shows that were slated that I should have got the screeners for. And I'm wondering why these companies are not sending me the screeners now. And, you know, some people are like, oh, well, you might be a little paranoid with that or whatever. But I'm like, yeah, they sent me screeners on the one show, and none of these people are actually communicating back with me. Now, one thing that I did realize is that all of these companies actually use some of the same promotion apparatus, right? And a lot of these people know each other, so they talk. You know, maybe my channel has been flagged like, yo, this guy is I'm doing air quotes, conspiracy theorist. Don't send him shit. He's just gonna take your show and start saying all kind of conspiracy shit with it. You know what I mean? I tell you one thing, if I would have had the from season 2 and 3 in advance, I would have been able to tell you and predict a couple of things that happened, because I noticed it right away, like especially when the cicadas happened. The cicadas was an actual prediction of 2024. There was a double brood of cicadas. Actually, there's a mother lode brood of cicadas that are about to emerge this year. And so this show was talking about cicadas. You also had the symbol that is the same thing that is very reminiscent of the pathways of the eclipses that touched the American soil in those last three eclipses. And it was the same as the symbol. And I mean, I've showed you that. I feel like if I would have been able to get those seasons early in advance, I would have been actually able to predict a couple of things. Like you see a lot of people make 9/11 connections. Oh man, we got A Lord Corey in the building. What's going on, family? How you?
How you doing, boy? I'm
You
okay.
there?
I'm
Can
okay.
you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, indeed. I hear you. What's good,
I
family?
bet,
How
man.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just trying to, intermingle, intertwine. I like what you're doing so far, and I just wanted to try to, um, you know, be
Oh,
another
man,
form of entertainment for everybody. I don't know.
oh, nah, that's what's up, bro. You have been supporting and rocking with me since the Severance stuff real heavy. Have you been? Were you around before
Amen.
that?
Yeah. I mean, I like to say I'm a broke boy. I've been just following along, but
Oh man, don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? You've been definitely supporting, sharing the content. You have been a blessing to the channel, and we appreciate having you over. This is your first time really rocking out like this. I want to hear what you got to say about The
I
Last of Us.
yeah, Last of Us seems. I mean, I didn't rock with it before, but when you made that video, I was just like, "Oh wow, this is something different." I really should have given this a second thought, but I didn't feel like paying for the subscription. But after you did what you did online, I was just like, "There is something to this." I mean, like there is a whole lot of shenanigans happening. But I like the I didn't mess with it with the game, even back when I was gaming back in like what was it, 2013, 12?
2013.
Yeah, like I was just like, it's just it's not worth $60, but it was everyone after that was like, damn, this is a real cinematic experience, bro. You really got to give it a second thought. And I was just like, I'm on my Dead Space grind, but I really vibe with those types of like horror. Like I can't really sit down with stuff like that, but now that I'm older, I really like the loneliness of it. That's why I mess with Fallout, Dead Space, those
Fallout
types
was
of things
great.
that, yeah, that like kind of like rips into the back of your brain. So I'm appreciative of you kind of exploring these things and allowing me to like say, okay, like there's a lot of things I missed here. And then like when it like hits like a sweltering boil, it like shit really pops off, and that's when like the real payoff happens. So
Oh
I,
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I
well,
bang with
I
everything.
appreciate that. I appreciate that, and I'm glad that I can inspire you to look at the show in a different way. You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
yeah, you got me rapping in my head too. I'm like, I got all these talents, but it's all thanks to you. It's like I'm just trying to be, a better me. But I just would not have been like so curious as to all these like little talents if it wasn't for like people like you. Like I'm giving this show a second chance, second thought. I'm giving Severance. I think I'm actually not even waiting for Halloween. I'm over here in the mirror like, bro, like I'm just trying to, it's just fun with you, man, and it's not what I thought. So God bless you, and hopefully your channel grows along with everyone's mindset, so to speak.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate that. If I
Yeah,
have been
those
told,
are flowers right there. I got tulips. I got baby breath.
okay,
Like what?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Give me my flowers. That's what's up, bro. I
Yeah,
appreciate that. And yo,
yeah,
I want
no,
to give you your flowers because, bro, like I say this all the time. I'm a reflection of you. You know what I'm saying? What you see in me, you see in yourself. And I'm glad that I could pull those talents out of you, or what I said, let you pull them out of yourself, Paul. And,
yeah,
I
pause.
really appreciate the fact that have dug into the content in such a way. I think that I try to provide my personality into my content and my jokes, my things. I'm telling you, when you listen to one of my videos, you are getting pretty much a reaction and how I reacted to it when I saw the show. When you watch a video of mine, you're getting my reaction. You're getting my jokes, the things that popped into my head the first time I saw it. You know, if you guys already know, I'm one of those guys that pause the video and look around, and I also rewind and listen, and things that I find funny might not be funny to you. Hear what I found funny about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see what I found funny about it, and then you're like, yo, that shit was funny. Like, yeah, that's hilarious. But like, you know, we connect with these shows. That's what's so good about these shows, is that they actually bring people together in good minds, and they actually get things started. And a lot of people think that the hidden hand in Hollywood is nefarious. And I have an argument against that. I don't think that it's actually nefarious. I don't think what they're doing is actually nefarious. I think there's a plan. I think there's a an actual thought process put behind what they do. You see what I'm saying? I think that the
Yeah,
reason
no,
why
yeah,
I think that the reason why they do this is to speak with one another, but to also speak to people like us that are seeing the show in a different way. I think that that's who they're speaking to. I think they're speaking to us, because I believe that if they really wanted to communicate with one another, they could just call each other. I'm sure that the leaders of the world is not hard to get in touch with each other. You know what I'm saying? The real leaders of the world. I'm not talking about these puppet presidents and all that dumb shit. I'm talking about the motherfuckers that really run this shit. You know what I mean? It's not hard for them to connect with one another. And I think that they're showing us some of the things. Some people believe that these things are put in the television shows because they have to show you before they do it. So it's like a cosmic karma, right? I don't believe that. I think it's a communication device.
Yeah, more communal than anything else. You know, it's kind of like the tree in the forest, you know, connecting and trying to spread their influence to other plants and organisms to get feedback or some type of like nutrient share. It's kind of like that, but like you're kind of like the incubator that kind of represents that for us. You know, in a way, I don't know if it's a complete thought right there. I just thought it'd be similar.
No,
to
that's
bring
a
that
crazy thought, bro. You know what? I've just been talking to you for a few minutes here, and I
Yeah,
can
let
tell
me
you
get off. Let me
one.
get off.
No, not at all. That's not. That's not why I said that. I said that to say this: the way you speak and your choice of words, I'm eager when you are comfortable enough to share your rhymes. I would love to hear what your rhymes sound like. I would love to hear you spit.
You know, like 1, 2, 3, rhythmatically holding on to the past. I don't know. Like I'm just,
Rhythmatically
I'm
holding on to the past. Like, yo, that's the type shit I'm talking about right there. You see what I'm saying, guys? Yo, this kid is a dope mind, and he probably has some bars. Like, I would not doubt it if he has some bars. I know we got some barsmiths in here. I know my brother Big Heck is heavy. I want to point out real quick that the Chocolate Thunder says that it's a warning. What do you think about that, Alo? You still there with me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But so
Okay.
what? What's the warning?
So I was saying that Chocolate Thunder says that it's a warning. Them putting these messages in the television shows and them sprinkling these symbolisms. What do you think about it being a warning?
Well, you know, like they said before, like that quote that says like an opiate for the masses. Like don't believe in everything that you think that you hear. You know, always give things a second you know, thought. You know, don't try to run with the crowd, you know, just because they're in the same city as you. I've been always that person that's been the outsider, you know, being, you know, Spanish and black, you know, I'm looking like I'm a light-skinned kid. But, you know, I can't be running with the crowd that's always like, you know, this and that towards people. So I always try to like, you know, think about things from the outside, not to give too much away.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
but yeah, of course, you know,
let me I'm gonna flip through a couple of these comments, because you know my chat is probably the best chat on YouTube. Like, you know what I'm saying?
without
Like,
doubt,
I'm not
without doubt,
trying
no
to
baby,
toot our own horn or nothing like that, but we got a smoking ass chat over here.
Mickey
So
B.
I'm gonna connect some of these comments that, and in this line of questioning with you because I'm just trying to dig in and see what you're talking about here. Now, Susan says trying to bring back extinct animals is nefarious, though. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I mean, it's good and bad at the same time. It's like, I want science to go further and further, but if we're gonna do dumb shit like bring back like animals with diseases that killed them, I'm not all for that.
Oh yeah,
Woolly
that's a crazy.
mammoth, things like that, fit into this exact like ecosystem, and what are they gonna like really feed on? I mean, it's cool. The dire wolf situation is cool, but like
Yeah, that dire wolf
let's start.
situation is crazy. The dire wolf shit is
I mean,
crazy.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. That dire wolf shit is crazy. Bringing back the dire
I mean,
wolves is a crazy notion right there.
one side of my brain says, "Man, this is tough as shit." The other side of my brain says, "Listen, let's slow down, Corey. We couldn't even finish Jurassic Park. I mean, like, we really couldn't finish." I mean, yeah. Let's
Yo, the
pipe it down.
Jurassic Park shit was crazy. Like a fucking mosquito from a amber. Like
God.
that was yo, whoever
Yo,
fucking
that was
now that I'm gonna say this,
Mm.
that speaks a real heavy. See, like I was just talking about the Jetsons and how we have pretty much everything that we've seen in the Jetsons damn near. Are we gonna get to a point that where we'll actually have a Jurassic Park? I know shit, we're already on the brink of dire wolves at the zoo. What the fuck, bro? Like, what's going on? I want to, and now I'm gonna connect another comment before I let you go, real quick. The comment is from Ebony, and she says it could be neither good or evil, and I think she might meant it could be either good or evil. So, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's kind of like God looking at the mold growth. It's like we're just
You run
injecting
that
another
back.
thing
You
into
were you
society.
went
It's
out
like
a little bit. You cut out a little bit.
we're just playing around with. It's kind of like we just kind of playing with samples in the petri dish now. It's like we're just trying to test shit out. It's neither good or bad. We're just trying to see what the result is, but we're not actually thinking about like why we we should be put.
Yo, you're cutting in and out. You're cutting in and out, brother.
Together.
You're cutting in and out. I want to go to this next comment real quick. Golden Child says they're letting us know that the new age we're entering in will turn our normal way of life upside down. Aquarius. So, I mean, yo, that's a heavy one right there. I'm gonna say this about I'm gonna say this about that, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's already happening. Like 2020, things will never be the same. But we've been seeing this in stages. I remember when 9/11 I remember when you could smoke in the airport. I remember when you could walk right up to the gate with your family member before they get on the airplane. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember being like 13, getting on an airplane to go see my grandmother for the summer. And my mom sat right there until the plane got there. Like, you can't do that anymore because you got to go through TSA just to even get to those parts of the airport. You know what I'm saying? And then you had 2020 happen. Things have not been the same. I wish we could turn back the time to 2019. My first thing that I would be doing is investing into Zoom. If I could go back in time, I would have invested in Zoom.
Remember when that shit was called Skype?
Yeah, I remember Skype too. Yeah, I would have invested in Zoom and Skype and all of that shit. Like, yeah, if I could turn back the hands of time.
I mean, it's like everything has its cycles, real, and things will happen. I mean, I couldn't even believe I'm out here in Florida. I couldn't even believe the electric cars. It's still kind of new to me, but you hear that China got their thorium reactor going on like 1,000 seconds, delivering clean energy with plasma. I mean, it's happening, but like it's never going to be the same again. But you just have to welcome it, and just see what the world gives us, so to speak. But I don't want to be too. I feel like I'm running off the rails a little bit. You got me excited, but I'm gonna just leave it here because my shyness is kicking in.
Oh no, it's all good. You're doing well. You're doing well. All is well. You are amongst fam. You feel what I'm saying? You are amongst fam. Don't don't feel any type of way. People are loving what you're saying in the chat. Look here.
God bless you. God bless you,
Yes,
chap.
indeed. Yo, look.
You know what?
The
I'm gonna
chocolate
I'm gonna
brother
give you your
said,
final
"Hey,
words.
Ayo needs
Yeah.
to speak more on the panel." Yeah, you definitely need to come up here some more. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't feel that way. You doing right. You doing right. I love the conversation that's going on down there. They're talking about the dire wolves and everything. Um, let's see what
I
Ebony
wish I
said
had
right
more to
here.
say, honestly, but I just
The hand could be a completely neutral entity, providing profits for the 1% while communicating with the 99% or the smaller percentage of us that actually pick it up. Ebony, what you just said is very, I don't know if anybody is familiar with the 5% nation, but what you said is very reminiscent of the 5%ers. So the 5%ers believe that 85% of the population is dumb, deaf, and blind. 10% are the ones who are controlling everything, and they know, but they hide. They're the ones responsible for hiding the information from the 85ers. And the 5% are awake and aware of the things that are going on. I don't, I don't know if I said that right. My uncle actually was one of the first 9 5%ers that started off with the 9 born. And my uncle was actually one of the first ones. He actually gave the old dirty bastard his name, his 5% name, which was A Son, because my uncle was the first A Son, and he gave that name to the old dirty bastard. My uncle is, from Brooklyn and all that, and he was one of the first 5%ers. And I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't know how to break down the 100% better than that. But what she just said reminds me of, Clarence's teachings of the 5%. And she even brought up the word percentage. She said the smaller communicating with the 99% or the smaller percentage of us that actually pick it up. Yo, Ebony, you
yes.
win. That comment right there is
Profit.
you win. Like my man Wayno has on his podcast. Shout out to my man Wayno. You know what I'm saying? I was on his stream the other day. He did a great stream. Wayno, if you listening, the stream you did was great. We need one of those every week, bro. Like he did, where he played people's music, and you could get your music played on there. I seen a couple of my subscribers in there in the chat, and we were in the chat with on Wayno's live stream. Go check out the brother Wayno. He's dope. He came over here, dropped the super chat, show some love to the channel. And we've been having a couple celebrities popping up in the chat. Hopefully we get some action like that this season, and hopefully some of them feel confident enough, like my brother Alor Corey coming through, to come up on the actual panel. You know what I'm saying? We have
But
about
there's
20
one
minutes
thing I
before the
want to
show
say
starts.
that's off topic
Go
a little
ahead, go
bit, but
for it.
kind
Go
of
for it.
relates to that. I mean, that was pure flames. I mean, it's Promethean fire right there. What Ebony said, but like I was thinking just yesterday, I was like looking at why NASA and everything else was not trying to go to space and everything else, and I was looking at the different timelines in history from the 60s, 70s and 80s, which was the big boom. I think that a lot of humans interest has its peaks and valleys and things like that, and I think the highest peak was math and science in the early 80s and 70s, and things like that. I feel that now education is kind of like dipped a little bit, and it's just kind of coming back, with people, struggling with the pandemic and everything else, and we're looking towards people like you, real, to kind of help us, like with our, our intellectual thirst, to like kind of bring us back to the light, because there's kind of been like a lull period, I feel, where people are kind of just working and just trying to just make ends meet and not feeling fulfilled intellectually. So I just want to thank you, and I want to thank Ebony for her comment, because I know that I'm not really relating to it, but it kind of sparked a little interest in me a little bit. But like I said before, human interest throughout the timeline has had these like little peaks and troughs, and I just kind of feel like, Real is kind of bringing back our I don't know. He's kind of feeding us a little bit. He's giving us these. He's that 1% that kind of gives all us 99% like our thirst quenched or something like that. So God bless you, man. I'm
All
just
right.
gonna sit
Thank
here.
you very much. God bless you as
Yeah,
well. I'm gonna just say this, right?
yeah.
I get comments like that a lot, actually, and they say like, "Yo, you're changing the way that I'm looking at this show." I've gotten so many comments from people that say they didn't like Severance at first until they saw one of my videos. And they said that my video made them start looking for things that they wasn't looking for in the show or any other show. And I've gotten comments like follow-up comments that are saying that they enjoy watching television now better because it is these shows and these things that you see. Hold on, somebody's calling me on WhatsApp. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm on live right now, so I have to call her back. Anyway, I've been getting them type of comments, and I can say this about it. That is what my goal is turned into, actually. At first, I was looking for people that was noticing the Native American stuff and from. That's really what it was. And then it became me wanting people to look at these television shows in a different way, because there's something else beyond the storyline. There's something else beyond all of the special effects. There's something else that they're trying to tell us, which is actually more important than the story. And I love it when a show can take a great story and put great symbolism to have a whole message in the overtone. And I wouldn't even call these things undertones. And I wouldn't even say that these are things that you should understand, right? Because when you understand something, you don't see the full picture. Like, imagine yourself standing in front of a building. You are understanding that building, right? You're standing in it from a lower point. Let's look at it from a higher point, right? And understand these things and look at these overtones that they're putting in the show, and let's figure out why. I don't think it's nefarious. I think it was Chocolate Thunder that said that it's a warning. Now, if someone is warning you, it is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, a threat is different. Like, if someone is threatening you, that's a different thing. But if they're warning you, I think there's something righteous within that notion to warn someone of an impeding danger or of an impeding monumental event.
Remember,
like what we see happening now with the financial structure of the entire world. That's what the Wizard of Oz references are. The Wizard of Oz references are references that are placed in television shows to tell us that something crazy is about to happen with the world's money. Why do we know this? We know this because the Wizard of Oz was written to tell you that there was something strange happening with the money. It was literally written by L. Frank Baum to make this point. The abbreviation for ounces is OZ.
Yeah.
Even total, the Latin word for total is toto.
Todo,
right?
yes.
Let's understand that Toto is the one that pulled the curtain back on the wizard. He ran over there, he saw the curtain, he bit the curtain and pulled the curtain back. Toto. You're talking about the Emerald City. The original ruby red slippers were actually silver. So you have the silver on top of the gold, right? Which is the yellow brick road. It even talks about the drug trade, right? In the oil trade as well. Think about the Tin Man. Tin stands for tax identification number. And he was frozen. His assets were frozen, right? He could not move. He could not work,
Going
right?
in.
He could not work. He was working when he froze, right? So him freezing, he needed oil to get back to work. They had to literally oil his joints, which is another money situation. When you're talking about throwing water on the wicked witch of the West, right? You're talking about the Western banking system going through liquidation, right? So when you're talking about the house falling on the wicked witch of the East, you're talking about a house which represents equity falling on the banking system, right? And then this is where she gets the silver slippers from, right? The movie adaptation was the ruby red slippers. Even when you go and you see the scarecrow represents the straw man. And we see this in, like, what the straw man represents is your name in all capital letters. That's why your name is in all caps on your birth certificate, your identification card, social security, even your credit cards. Even if a bill company sends you something in the mail, that shit's in all caps. And we're in 2025. We're in 2025. So why can't they spell my name like they taught me to write it in school? And why is my signature on each one of these documents, or a signature on each one of these documents? You put your signature on your social security. You put your signature on the back of your credit card. There's a signature on your license. There's a signature on your birth certificate. These are the signs of nature that act. The signature is the sign of nature and is written in cursive, right? A curse is a binding spell. And so once you put that signature on anything, you legally agree to it. It doesn't even matter if it's in an adhesion contract. But yo, dig this. We got 10 minutes. I'm gonna
Waiting
put
to
this
hear
link.
about the lion. I'm waiting to hear about the lion, dog.
Oh, the lion? Oh, the lion. The lion is very pinnacle because the lion is without the courage. The lion is without the courage. He is without the courage to stand up and do something about the situation that he is in.
Yeah.
When we look at the straw man, he is without a brain, right?
Yeah.
And his brain, meaning that he doesn't actually have the knowledge of what I'm talking about right now. You see what I'm saying? It gets deep. The Wizard of Oz was cooking. I'm gonna tell you that for a fact. Like, L. Frank Baum was not writing a children's story when he wrote The Wizard of Oz. He was talking to us today and where this all comes
Nah,
from.
I love your deciphering, man. You showing the alien tech behind the hieroglyphics, so to speak. I mean, you're understanding or woven into the script, and this is why excuse my French, I fuck with you heavy. Like, I really do. You are like a soothsayer. Beware the Ides of March. And that stuff. It's just like you kind of see what other people don't see. And it's a terrible thing that people are taking your ideas and things like that. But you know what? Worry when it stops, like my mom says. You know what I mean? Because then you'll have nothing to really say.
It's all good. Like, I understand the game. Like, I understand what it is now, and it's okay because that's the reason why I'm speaking on what I'm speaking on. I'm putting this out here for that very reason, for people to disseminate this information. Like, that's what I want to happen. So I'm not even tripping off of it. You know, only thing I have a problem with is when you don't pay homage. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta cite your work.
Because right, cite your work. You know, it's like we live in a day and age where social media got people playing people's video, a video with somebody else that they made, information that they went and put together, information that they found. And then you got this other person just sitting there with their face on the video, pointing at the background, and they're not even saying anything. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, you could have just shared the damn person's video and gave them credit for it. But they put their face on it, and I guess they feel like that is transformative enough that it substitutes for their content. That's not content. That's just stealing somebody's shit and literally putting your face on it. But it is what it is. We're going to have a good time as always. We got about a few more minutes. We're going to end the stream right here. I think this is a great stream to start the Last of Us coverage on. And I can't wait to watch this episode, dig into the symbolism, and drop another bomb for the fam. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh man, I know your pen is warm right now. I know. I hope you're right. I hope you're ready to write down some notes and shit.
Oh man, I missed so much. I didn't make clear enough in a lot of the video. Like, for instance, I talked about the switchblade, right? And how the switchblade represents this dagger and what that switchblade really means to Ellie. I've never heard anybody actually go into the switchblade. I've only seen people talk about it as like some sort of novelty. But, you know, I think that the switchblade is very symbolic. It was a great thing. And notice that she was born under the Yggdrasil, right? In the room that her mother gave birth to her in, she was it was a tree painted on the wall, a big ass tree, and she was sitting right in the root system, right? So this is representing of the Yggdrasil. Yig is where we actually get the word egg from. And you know, Yggdrasil was Odin's tree. Yggdrasil mean the word Yggdrasil means the horse of Odin, meaning that this tree was able to transport him to the different spots in the 9 realms. Okay, so in Odin, in order to gain a certain level of knowledge, some people say he hung himself by his big toe, and some people say he hung himself, you know, from his neck on the tree in order to gain knowledge, right? Look at Helly hanging herself in the elevator. The elevator is a Yggdrasil, pretty much. It takes you to different places. And if our girl Helly Refined is right about the 9 levels of hell, which I think she is, I wonder if there are 9 floors under that severed level, and that elevator that it takes you to, that elevator would take you to those different levels and stuff, right? So, man, she's like spot on with that. That shit is fire. So the elevator is definitely the Yggdrasil, and Helly hangs herself on the Yggdrasil. Now, wait till y'all hear my Severance audit video. I've been working on my Severance audit video. So what I've been doing is watching all of my own videos and pulling out all the stuff that I got right and putting out all the stuff that I got wrong. So I have like a page for each video, and I'm up to like video number 5 right now. So that's why the Severance video hasn't come out yet. And the Last of Us is 5 minutes away. So I had to get ready for this because I definitely wanted to cover this and share some of the symbolism. I know a lot of people don't
honestly, yo, take your time. Give us an audit per episode, dog. Like you got everybody's heart in our throats right now with that nine circles of hell to talk. Holy cow.
Yo,
Holy
like
cow.
I mean,
the Yggdrasil.
why...
we be following you, and you're like, oh, you know, this leads to that, and we're just like, yeah, but by minute 3,
check this out real quick. I'm literally, I've been wanting to do a live stream with Helly Refined so bad, and I've been thinking about these notes that I have here for our live stream. Like I have pretty much a notebook with some notes in it for everybody that I do live streams with. So because I know their content and I'm able to go back and forth and I have some notes and things, I'm pulling directly from my notes with that one for my Helly Refine. So if you fuck with Helly Refine and if you on her channel, go over there. Everybody that knows who that is, go over there and say, hey, we need that you and Real collab. And be on the lookout for the Me and Miscellaneous Gab collab. You know what I mean? I'm sorry I didn't give you guys enough chance to go get your snacks and provisions for the show. But thank you, A-Lord Corey, for dropping up here, coming up to the panel, and very poetic, brother. You're a very poetic brother. I can't wait to hear what you got to offer to the music or the rhyme.
I'm bowing to you, man, and I got a lot to write down the next couple, because you know, along with my gratitudes every day, I'm gonna write down, you know, just a little something, and I gotta remember how to, yeah, how it actually sounds, you know, when I got a beat underneath me or something like that, you know, because I'm not rhyme savvy. But anyway, everyone,
Anyway,
love you, chat.
we're gonna go ahead and yo, thank you for coming up again. Thank you for showing love to the chat. You know, we're gonna end this one. Go get your snacks real quick. The show's starting in 2 minutes, y'all. 2 minutes. The Last of Us is coming on. You know what I mean? Let's get to it. Just a little something to think about while we wait on this next episode. That's all for the video tonight. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Yo.